Okay guys, my name is Prosper and welcome back to this tutorial lesson. Looking at what we were saying from the initials, there is something I actually looked at and I feel this could be of great benefit um, to you as well. This could be of great benefit. So in a short, in order to get this HTML file all summed up, in order to get everything, if you really don't know how to go, if you don't know your way around getting to type in this, then um, putting the exclamation mark, then typing doc type, doc type HTML, TML, then closing, then coming to do all of those, adding your header, coming to add your header, then or your HTML, sorry, coming to add your HTML, then your header. There is a short way you can just do this. You can just hold your shifts and hold and click on your exclamation mark. Once this shows this, you can either click on this or just hit enter. So once you do that, it is going to open this for you. Is going to open this simply for you. So what this means is the document type. Then this HTML, which we know is our root element, is it's and this definition is just showing the browser also that the language is English. It's showing that the language is English. And in a doc in our the process of this our course, you are going to get to understand what this value is and what this value is as well. This is a property and this is a value of a property, but the browser reads this language as English language. So everything that is going to be written here is supposed to be under English language, and that's what is going to be interpreted in your web browser. And for the title, if you look at this, let me just give a space bar so that you can look at this. Everything is written inside our HTML file. Everything is written under the tag of HTML. Everything is written under the tag of HTML. I was explaining this in the previous lesson. Everything, the header and the body is written inside the HTML file. Anything that is not written inside the HTML file would be considered invincible to the web browser. And let's go to our browser. I have this opened up here. Let's open this our file here. Now if we open this file, we could see we have documents here, seen here, right? This document. So going to change this, we would simply go to our title here and change this to front end. We already saw this in the previous class, and front end course. So we can have this name on our web browser. Refresh this, then you see the front end course here. So this is just a short way you can actually do. Let me do that again so that you see it. Instead of coming to write a doc type, HTML and all of that, just hold your shift, then click on your exclamation mark, then hit enter. It's going to bring this for you. So now under our HTML, the head, we have the head, and the head contains the title. You can do away with this if you wish to, but you can also leave it because it also has its purpose. This character set, this is a meta tag, and it shows the character set of UTF-8 on the web browser. The web browser also reads this, and also on the meta we have a viewpoint, and the contents to be in this particular scaling and width as well. This is essential for the web browser, but overly it's not entirely and overly necessary to some extent. So this is what is important, our title, because we need to see what the page, when we open a page you can see facebook.com, when you open a page you can see google.com, you can see jumia.com and all of that. So this is where these are document title should come in, so we can title this whatever name we want to title. If I title it Prosper, we can, if we refresh this from the front end course, we can see it is Prosper now. So that is very important. So after this we are coming to look at, let me just leave this as front end because I might not be changing it again. Front end course. Then when we come to the header, this is what is contained in the header. The title name is important. Then we are coming to our body now. This is where the cocoa starts. Our body is where everything that you see on the web page is being written. Everything you see on the web page is being written under the body. Now, in the body, we can start looking at certain things. I've begun to explain what the start tag, the end tag, and the element is. So let's move on from this. I will further explain other things as we go. When we come here, we'll see H1, we'll see my H1 and P tag. We are going to meet that ahead, but if you want me to go ahead with that, I'll go further to explain it. um Now let's look at this particular draft here. You could see that the entire worksheet is starting up with the HTML and is also closing. You can see the close tag here with a slash. Then on this we have the header and the close. We have the opening tag for head and we have the close tag for head, and inside this we have the page title. The page title contains in the head, and you could see that this also has a start and an end tag as well. Then under the body we have H1, P, we have P and P. So what does this mean? This means our heading. The H, any H you see, it means simply means our heading. Then P also means paragraph. P also means paragraph. So let's go to our web page and look at how this is going to be displayed. So we have H1. Let's open this, then type in H1, then close it. You see automatically it closes for us. Then let me just type my first heading. Now once I type that and save it, remember I taught you how to save. If you don't want to come all the time to save it so that it can also be responsive on the web page, you can just come here and click on auto save. So whenever you just type in something, it automatically closes itself. Then when we come to our page here and we refresh, we'll see my first heading. From here we've written, you see our my first heading. So this has already interpreted itself on our web browser. Now let's look at P. Let's open tag for P and close that tab, sorry, and close this. Then let's write my first paragraph. Writing my first paragraph, then save it. You come here and refresh, you see my first paragraph. So why are we having this in bolder, in a bigger size, and we're having this in a lesser size? So H1, we have our H1 from the scale of H1 to H6, and H1 determines the larger text. H2 determines another large text but less in size than H1. The same thing for H3, less in size than H2, and so forth till we get to H6. There is no H7. It's from H1 to H6, and this also defines the various sizes of the text. For paragraph is the normal texting by the browser. We know we already have a normal standard texting which is 16 pixel for the browser, and this is the size that this particular paragraph is measured in. And if I go ahead to add another paragraph and say my second paragraph, if we refresh this, sorry, this is my second paragraph, and I go to my page to refresh this, you will see that it is also the same as this. So but then let me show you what H2 looks like, or as we move on in the class we'll get to see from H1 to H6 and we'll understand what they are used for. So going back to this, the history of HTML. HTML, this is just the history of HTML down to 2017, which I told you the latest is the HTML5. Now you could see from 1989, whoa, they've not even given birth to me by then. You could see that we have Tim Berners-Lee invented www, which is the World Wide Web, as we used to know then. In this also, he invented HTML. Then we had HTML plus, we had HTML 2 points, HTML. So these are actually these are the history of HTML, how we have till this very moment, until this very day, the HTML files that we are using and the languages we are using at this particular period in time. Maybe in the future we'll have more advanced and more upgraded versions, but you could see the history and all of this. You can take your time to just read through all of this if you wish to. So moving on to the next, we would look at the HTML editors. Now, learn HTML using Notepad or text edits. Web pages can be created and modified by using professional HTML editors. However, for learning HTML, we recommend a simple text editor like Notepad or text edit. We believe that using a simple text editor is a good way to learn HTML. Follow the steps below to create. So this is showing the difference. Like in the beginning of this class, in this course, we I showed you how you could also use Notepad. In Notepad in writing your HTML, and I think I went ahead to open that for you. This is our notepad. You can use this to write, and it's going to also be responsive on your websites. However, the reason why I am using Visual Studio Code, and I would recommend Visual Studio Code for you and any other person that is actually learning, is just to save your time. It helps you to correct and automatically fill in some of the things that you probably would have been taking a lot of times to be typing, typing the opening tag, the close tag, the this particular tag and that particular tag. When we come to styling, so you see the essence of Visual Studio Code, because it just helps you to create the property and helps you to also create the value for that property. You are the one that is just going to impute what changes you want to make on that particular property and the value you want it to refer to. However, it's the Visual Studio Code just helps you automatically complete both the start tag and the end tag. That's why I would highly recommend the Visual Studio Code. And a lot of programmers, by the way, use Visual Studio Code. So this is what we have here. This is what is going to look like when you're using your notepad. This is the notepad, and this is exactly what it's going to look like, but you are the one typing everything. But when we come to Visual Studio Code, you see how it is also represented, and it's going to technically give you the same results on your browser. So that is it for the editor. Then let's move to HTML basics, the basics of HTML. So I'll be putting an end to this class, and I will get to meet you in the next class to continue this particular one, not to make the entire video too lengthy. So I remain Prosper, and thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next class.